Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace. Are you a creator in search of a small but sturdy vlogging tripod? Like a tripod you can just kind of pop your camera on, be able to walk around with like a vlog setup, but when you put it down, it stays sturdy. Because I am tired of this thing. This GorillaPod here was made famous by the GOAT of vlogging, Casey Neistat. I put a little foul cam head bit on here. This used to be like my vlog setup for a while, and it drove me absolutely crazy. I appreciate the versatility that you can like wrap around things or it can go in weird places, but more often than not, I'm just taking my camera, I'm putting it on a table, and then I'm trying to make it level, going from this position, and then I want to get it together, and then I want to kind of get more into like a vlog position, and then I want to go back to the table, and this thing is just it's not good for that. Not ideal, the GorillaPod. And it's a shame that so many other brands have pretty much just copied the GorillaPod in one form or another to try to make a vlogging tripod. Now there's been some exceptions. I actually had the Polar Pro Apex for a while, which I loved that tripod. They didn't have a good ball head for it, so I would use the Joby ball head, but I would put it on the Polar Pro Apex tripod, and then it broke. Like 2 months ago, my Apex tripod, the leg just snapped off. So I reached out to Polar Pro and I was like, dude, I need to order another one. And they said, we don't have it anymore. We don't make tripods anymore, which I was very bummed about. So then I tried to use like my Falcam F38 tripod. I tried to use this tripod, which is very lightweight. This is the best travel tripod you can get. Click up there to go watch the full video on this tripod. I use this for pretty much everything on this channel that's not handheld vlogging. So I have a kind of a vloggy setup tripod, and then this tripod. Most shots that you see on this channel are from this tripod. Even though it's only that much longer than this, it feels significantly larger. If you were to try to walk around with this as like your vlog tripod, larger, heavier, just a clunkier solution than something like this. And it's funny because there is a vlog tripod made by creators that I've actually never tried. So today I am going to try the SwitchPod. I've never tried this thing. It's been out for a while, made by two really awesome creators, and it's that small. It folds up. It's a foldable vlogging tripod. If you've never seen the SwitchPod, definitely one of the more clever solutions in the vlog tripod world. How does the SwitchPod stack up against the GorillaPod? I'm actually taking off for CES and like, what's today? Tomorrow. I'm leaving for CES tomorrow, and I need one of these two options to walk around the show floor with. Today we're gonna figure out, should I bring the GorillaPod or should I bring the SwitchPod? Don't do it like that. And like you've heard me say a million times on this channel, I use the F38 quick release system, a whole system from Ulanzi, which is this amazing tripod. It's a camera strap. I use their backpack strap now. Everything quick release, everything F38. So I put an F38 bit on here, but for this thing, I think like what's gonna fit almost perfectly is this ball head. I don't know what this ball head is called. I will link it below, but this thing, see the GorillaPod, the Joby, see that's the size of the head on the SwitchPod, and this is the bottom of the Joby head. So if I put these together, it just looks kind of silly. So this guy has a really similar diameter of the base of the ball head to the SwitchPod bit. All right, let's get this ball head. Oh yeah, it's perfect. It's like the perfect size. The SwitchPod has like this knob bit on the bottom, like this piece turns, and then you just kind of grab the top and crank it on. Kind of wish there was like a wrench, like I could wrench it to tighten it, because I obviously want my ball head as tight as possible on there. But in theory, this is all that I would be putting in my backpack, is like this very, very slim, compact setup that I can go like this. This is quick release, so I can lock that in. What's like my front leg? I mean, that feels pretty dang good. Like it feels very solid. Once I set it up on a table, like that feels solid. Obviously picking it up and like kind of getting it back to that walk around vlog mode is very simple. Why didn't I get one of these earlier? Okay, initial impression, very good for the SwitchPod. Let's do like a little side by side though. We'll kind of look at the max height, the minimum height, because that's not gonna work out very well for that guy. We'll look at the weight, we'll look at kind of the versatility and just kind of the overall choice of which of these two tripods is coming with me to CES 2024. Again, this one, like, it's so good. It's also just so frustrating. The first thing we should check out is the weight of these tripods. How much will each of these weigh me down while I'm at CES? Before I do though, let me tell you about the amazing sponsor of today's video and just supporter of this channel and videos like this for you guys, Squarespace. If you guys do not somehow know about Squarespace already, they are the all-in-one website building platform that I have used for the past 10 years for my photography business, and I will be creating a brand new website this year for this channel right here. The new website that's gonna have some very fun stuff and some features for you guys to go in there and just have a bunch of like information, a bunch of tools and resources for you to become better photographers, better filmmakers. All of that will be on my new Squarespace website. I built my photography business website like years and years ago, and now building this new website, you just see it's so simple. It's why I recommend Squarespace to everybody. Anyone that's launching a new business or you're getting that side project off the ground, go to the first link in the description, shoot to squarespace.com, download one of the professional templates during your free trial, and just design it out. Like, kick the tires of Squarespace all during the free trial. And when you're ready to go live, use code David Manning to save 10% off at checkout. And again, thank you Squarespace for sponsoring today's video and just this channel in general. Like, they're awesome supporters of this channel. If you like my videos, Squarespace helps make them. Okay, the first one up is our GorillaPod onto the scale. In grams here, folks, we are looking at 753 grams. Now this is with that F38 plate added, so let me take that off for those of you that are just Arca Swiss people and you don't know the goodness that is F38. For you, this is 714 grams. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. We'll say 714 on the GorillaPod. Now taking the SwitchPod made out of aluminum.
Aluminium is naturally strong and lightweight.
Pop this guy on there with the F38. 460 grams. So we're talking 714 grams versus 416 grams. That's significant when in your backpack all day long, or while you're trying to hold it out like this for extended periods of time. So definitely a win for the SwitchPod there, but let's check out the height, because the height is something that is pretty locked in place. Can't change anything about the height of the SwitchPod, and it is without the ball head on there. Again, this is the F38 ball head. Without the ball head, we are looking at 9¼ inches. So 9¼ inches without the ball head. With how I have this set up right now, basically 12 inches on the dot. So 9¼ without the ball head and 12 inches on the dot with it. And again, I cannot change this. Like, there's nothing I can do to make this taller or shorter. It is SwitchPod. Whereas over here, let me get my F38 plate back on there. Here I have quite a bit of flexibility on height. Now, stability we'll talk about in the next section here. But if I was to set this up in a way where like I felt good, like that's probably pretty good. Let's see if I can get a little higher. That's probably about like a stable setup for the GorillaPod. We'll get the camera back out of there and we will measure to the base 10 inches. So 3/4 of an inch taller, just the actual tripod itself. And then with the plate on there, we are looking at 13¼ So a few inches taller than the SwitchPod. It can obviously get a little taller. But then of course the GorillaPod, it can get quite a bit lower. So if I was to just flare these legs out, you wanted like a really low to the ground shot. Get this all the way down, just jam that down. We are only looking at 2¼ inches. So it can go down to 2¼ inches without the ball head, and with the ball head on there, we are talking 5½ inches. So this guy has quite a bit more range, and again, you can pretty much go anywhere between those two numbers. Trick with it though is that after about 6 months to a year, you need to get a new one, because the legs get worn in, they get broken in, and these joints, they get much looser. So an older GorillaPod will not be as stable as one that's brand new. Man, is anyone else like a perfectionist with these legs where all of a sudden it kind of gets all kinked out of, and you want to like straighten it? I want these legs to be perfectly straight. Whereas on this guy, it feels pretty dang stable. Like once that's open, if you make sure all 3 legs are open, like I mean, you could really like crank down on this thing. I don't know what it's rated to, like what the weight limit is on this guy, but I could imagine you holding a pretty big camera on this. And then the last thing to look at, which I think is a big part of like daily use with a vlog tripod like this, is how does it go in and out of your backpack? Like the sleekness of this is obviously going to be much better than the non-sleekness of these bumpities. And when you're going in and out of your backpack, like the sleekness factor will definitely matter. This guy going in, it's always giving me trouble. It's just not easy to get in and out. Like it's definitely more secure when it's in there because there's rubber on these feet right here and it's knobby, so it's gonna catch on more things. Getting it in and out is a two-handed process for sure to really shook the crap out of the table to really get it in there. And then obviously with this guy, it is, I mean, that is super sleek. I could probably keep this closed and go like in and out from all, oh, look at that. That's pretty good. Sleek factor goes to the SwitchPod. It feels like an easy decision. Like it feels like the SwitchPod has so many advantages that the only real advantage the GorillaPod has is versatility. Like obviously I could just wrap this on a pole. I could wrap this in a lot of different weird places. Like if you're in a spot where you're like, oh, there is no flat surfaces to put my camera on, but I want to put it down, this comes in handy. But for the stability of the SwitchPod, being able to just quickly flip it to this hand, flip it back out into that mode. I can't do the one-handed thing, by the way. I keep trying and I'm afraid I'm gonna drop my camera. I see them do it in the video. I'll just use two hands, that's okay. And yeah, this will be my vlog setup for CES 2024. If you guys are gonna be at CES 2024, by the way, hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. I would love to meet up with you guys. Love to see some faces there. I will be at the Insta360 booth on Thursday, just sharing my experience, like how much I like the cameras, how I use the cameras, answering any questions about the cameras for you guys. And other than Thursday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll be all over the show. And I think the answer is obvious. I'm for sure bringing the SwitchPod with me. This will be my go-to vlog tripod for CES 2024 so that I do not have to use this dang thing. Very clever. I love this tripod. Obviously, it's traveled the world with me, but I'm so happy not to use it anymore. Hopefully, this is just it's the right solution and I don't have to deal with that thing anymore. Any comments, questions, concerns about the SwitchPod? If you've had a good experience, bad experience, like tell me your thoughts on this thing. I know it's been out for a while. This is legit my first time using it, and it's quick release. I want everything in my world to be magnetic or quick release. All right, I'll see you soon. Hey, do you want to explain again? Why is this tripod not a good tripod?
Because it keeps getting to go really down.
And then what would happen?
It's like, bleh.
Like what? Show me. Go push. Bleh. And then hey, let's see if you can operate this new tripod. How do you open it? Can you show me?
I want to do it.
You want to do it too? Come here. Come here. You can do it.
This is how we open it.
Oh, you got it open. Oh, right.
Hi, cat.
You say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Okay, now how do you close it? Close it up, make it really small?
This is how you do it. By closing it up at the opposite way.
The opposite way?
And you can just put it into there.
Hey, let's see if I can do it like they do. Oh, that's how they do it in the video. Actually, they go like this. With one hand, they go.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Bye. I love you. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
We're going to Sky Zone.
Going to Sky Zone.
Let's
Okay.
go to the trampoline place.
Okay, let's go get in the car.